2, 3. So today what we're going to do is we are going to kind of work on an oil and vinegar set, all right? So for these two pieces, I'm going to make some spouts, and then I'm going to trim these. And then once these are kind of done, I'll probably, maybe not today, but build a tray for it. But it's really about getting these guys, kind of assembled. Let's see what they look like. I always like to finish these two objects off first before I make my tray, because then I have a pretty good idea what those objects look like, okay? So the first thing we should do, these are good and leather hard, is I did make some spouts for this, but I want to show you how I would go about throwing one of these spouts, okay? So I'm going to take a little bit of clay. It's probably like 1/4 pound. Yeah, probably pretty tiny, right? And we're just going to put this guy right in the middle. All right. All right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of wheel wedging. And I just go ahead and go right to the bat head. All right, so that's nice and open up. You can see that. And then I'm just going to start to cone this in. I take my hands and then just squeeze it. All right. And then I'm just going to slowly choke this guy off. Now, it's getting a little bit thicker, right, as I start to choke it in, but I'm going to just take the back of my needle tool, put it in there, and then just kind of put my thumb and just sort of squeeze this and thin this guy out. All right. Now, if that top's a little off, we could go ahead and just cut it. All right. And again, I'm going to take it. And then I'm just going to press this and create a nice little edge. Nice little edge there. Close this guy off. All right. That would make a nice little spot. I can bring it up a little bit taller. All right. And once I've done this, and I've kind of got that shape, now what I'll do is I will go ahead and push this forward a little bit. Okay. All right. Go ahead and push that forward. And that should be good. And now I'm going to take my wire cutter and I'm going to go ahead and cut this. All right. Now, a lot of times people cut it this way, but you actually cut it from the back to the front. So I'm going to take this and then go like that. And that becomes the kind of that throat area. And there's going to be your spout. Okay. Now, I'm not going to use this spout because I like it to stiffen up a little bit, but I am going to do that. I am going to do that for these two guys. I'm going to take one. Think now let's see I got this one. It's a little leather hard, so we can kind of see what that's going to look like. All right, and we just decide which one we like better. These I threw about an hour ago. And there's that. I'm probably going to like that for this guy. So I'm going to take this. All right, and I'm just going to kind of line it up. Just want to see get this. And I take my needle tool. I'm going to put this guy off to the side so I think that'll look probably pretty good. And kind of get this in front of me. And the what? Cut the curve? So when I cut it, I went down, and then I created this sort of throat area, okay? And now I'm just going to line this up, okay? All right, and then we could all right, so if you look at it, I've lined it up, and now I can just take a needle tool and just go ahead and cut this open. I'm just going to freehand this. just going to cut this. Should come out, be able to come out. And so there's like that. And then I can get in there. And now I'm just going to soften this with my finger. So we go like that. All right. Get that nice and round. And then I'll do a little slipping scoring here. All right. Kind of see that. But you know what I just realized? What I should do first is I should trim this. So let me do that. Let me go ahead. It's okay. I've got an opening. We'll put it on here in a second. But we want to go ahead and do a little bit of trimming before we do anything. So I'm going to come back over here. All right. So how did it get leather hard already? I did it a little while ago. So I did it about an hour ago before class just to kind of prep it. Just prep it for the class, all right? So what I'm going to do here is I want to trim this guy a little bit. So I'm going to use a chuck. So I'm going to take this, put this in the chuck, and just kind of get it centered. Now usually I like to get it centered right here. First you see if this guy's level, which it isn't, right? Not level. All right, pretty level now. And now I just kind of get it centered up. Okay, so just give it a little push forward. I'm always kind of coming back to this spot. All right. It's got a little bumpy bump here. A little push forward. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so once I got that, take a little bit of my clay, or a lot of my clay, depending on how you want to look at it. And I can usually put coils in a couple different areas. So for you, chucks may work out really well, especially if you're making circular forms, okay? Then they don't have to rest on that small top that you have, right? All right. All right, we're going to go like that. God bless you. Thank you. All right. And I can put a little bit in here too if I want. Throw me off? Nah, it won't throw me off. Okay, grab the little trimming tool, and then I just start to take away. Make it just a little bit lighter, clean that shape up, get a little more of that circle that I'm looking for. All right. Keep tucking this guy in. A little bit of trimming. Nobody likes heavy stuff, right? So we want to make sure we do a good job here. I'm giving it a little bit of a foot. I'm going to even use the metal rib and kind of... These weren't particularly heavy. I think we used, what did we say, 2 pounds or... Okay. If we want to just give it a nice clean over, we can just add a little bit of water. We can get our rubber rib. And then we'll clean that top up. Probably trim a little bit in here. That's pretty thin though.
You don't need a foot, right?
Nah, you really don't. I do not need a foot for the bottom. I'm not really taking a lot off here. Anyway. Yeah, that's super thin. I do not want to get... I'm just kind of a big fan for objects. They should feel weight appropriate. All right. So that's going to be... All right. Okay. That one looks decent. Now back where we started before I made that big hole in the side. Now maybe there's a couple little line marks here. If there are, that's okay. No, there's not. So there's your little soy bottle so far, right? And now I got that slipping and scoring that occurred.
Soy bottle.
Why do I keep saying
Vinegar.
soy bottle? Vinegar, thank you.
You drink a lot of soy.
All right. Okay. Now I'm going to slip and score this guy. Was this the guy I was using? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I think it was. And then I will clean that edge just like that. All right. Just a little bit. And then this is actually wetter than I thought it was, but that should be okay. We're going to score that surface. And then we're going to just line this guy up. Let me move this guy. I don't want to break anything. And I might just need to center myself. And then we're going to just push this. And you see how it's wet enough that I can still manipulate it just a little bit. You see that? All right. Just want to make sure that, get that side. That's probably a bigger throat than I want, but it's okay. And then I could just quickly get a chamois, clean that one up. That looks about right. That one looks pretty good. And I will get an old pen. I can mark this a little bit. I can add a coil in here. Yeah, that looks good. Thanks. That looks pretty good. That one too?
This one has
You got another good one? Oh, let's try this one.
the other one's square.
How's that guy look?
Very classical.
Huh? Very what?
Very classical.
Yeah, right? Very classical. Okay, but look at the difference what that trimming does to a piece. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll trim this guy real quick. And we'll just kind of rinse and repeat here. Although I don't think this...
You're doing handles, right?
I probably should do handles, right? You guys would probably like handles on these?
Oh, I think it needs like a little.
Oh, it needs a handle.
round.
Okay.
It needs a stopper.
It needs a stopper. Okay. All right.
Flies landing on your
Okay.
vinegar. Should we drink this and do the next video?
Nah, we'll do it. We'll do these guys. Or what do you want me to put a handle on there? Here, I'll go ahead and put a handle on there. Okay. So here's how I make handles. I actually make handles this way. So I'm going to roll it into a small carrot. All right. And usually I'll use a canvas. All right. This is just an easier way.
Round one, or are you
classic. Oh, I don't want a big handle. I don't want a big handle on this. Okay. Cut this. All right, once I get this and I've got a decent size handle, I'll go ahead and flatten it. That's probably pretty good. Now, if we take a look, do you see how thick that is? So now I'm just going to pinch the sides. Now, this simple pinching method of the side will make it so it's visually not so thick. All right, so you have that, and then you have that. Okay, you have that, and then you have that. Okay, big difference, right? And then we'll do that to the other side. All right, and I'm just, look at how much I'm really setting this up. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to kind of push this. That's a nice looking handle, I think. All right. Once now we got that, now we're going to slip and score, and we'll do the same kind of a thing. So key is you want to make sure that this thing lines up right where it's supposed to, and I think it's going to be right about there. So I will, again, take my needle tool, trace where that handle's going to go. Slip and score, find my nifty little slipping and scoring tool. I love this tool. And we're going to score that surface. Then, like that. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water. The water is the key to this. And then we'll go like this. All right. Now we're going to add a little bit of water here. All right. Now, here's the key. You get a little water. Now I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm lining it up, and I'm just pressing this. Pressing it as hard as I can. And then I like to roll it back into the body for the time being, and then compress these sides. Now, I haven't started pulling yet, but I will. But I don't want this to tear off. Okay. You see how I'm doing this? This will save you a lot of pain and frustration if you do it this way. All right. I can use your nifty difty. What did you call this? The nifty difty? Whatever it was.
Lets you get in there.
Lets you get in there. All right.
So are you going to slip and square the bottom?
I do not slip and score the bottom.
You just push it in?
I just smoosh it. I think that's the official term. All right, now I'm going to grab the bucket. Now here's where I do all my pulling, okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to straighten it out. All right, we're going to make sure that that's nice. And now I don't really pull yet. I don't really pull. I build up that slime, all right? Now I'm going to go this way with my hands, go this way, and then this way, all right? So I go on that way for length, and then this kind of straightens everything out. Okay, you see how I'm doing that? Not a lot of pulling. You know, sometimes people grab that big block of clay, and then they work it for days, right? I find this to be much easier. Okay, now I got this. Now I'm going to take this, and I want to make sure I line this up properly, whatever that word means. It's a little big, but
Give it more of a curve on
yeah, we could
whoosh.
kind of like that actually, but maybe we're going to move it down just a little bit further. Just a little bit more. That looks pretty good. We're going to line it up. Grab this. That's what that guy's going to look like. What do you guys think? And when I dry this, the handle still seems a little big. Let's take that. Let's take it down just a little bit more. Let's knock it down just a notch, right? So just clean this up. And we do it till we feel like it's right. You know, do it one more time. Oh, that's better. Okay. Let's line that up. Let me do this one more time. There we go. Now, to get that natural curve we're looking for, we're going to go like this. There she is. Okay. What do you guys think? That's a good looking handle. Clean that up. When I dry this handle, I want it to keep that curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to rest it upside down. I'm not going to be able to do it in the chuck, but I might be able to just do it just like, let's see if that guy will sit. Little scary, but
Something around it.
yeah, and then that's it. Thank you.